the question I'm asked most frequently. Housing prices are bound to come down, aren't they? Well, it's not the same as it was before. In this particular situation, we don't have a bunch of foreclosures coming to drive the prices down. Why is that? Well, when mortgage forbearance plans were first announced and the pandemic surged through the country in early 2020, many homeowners were pleased to pause their mortgage payments. Some analysts were concerned that once the forbearance program ended, the housing market would experience a wave of foreclosures, like what happened after the housing bubble 15 years ago. Here's why that isn't the case this year. Number one, there are fewer homeowners in trouble this time. After the last housing crash, over 9 million households lost their homes to a foreclosure, a short sale, or because they gave it back to the bank. Many believe millions of homeowners would face the same fate again this time. However, today's data shows that most of the homeowners have exited their forbearance plan either fully caught up on payments or with a plan from the bank that restructured their loan in a way that allowed them to start making their payments again. The latest data from the Mortgage Bankers Association studies show that people exited the forbearance program from June 2020 to November 2021. And here are those findings. 38.6% left the program paid in full. 44% negotiated workout repayment plans. 0.6% sold as a short sale or did a deed in lieu. And only 16.8% left the program still in trouble and without a loss mitigation in place. Number two, those left in the program can still negotiate a repayment program. As of December 31st, the total number of mortgages still in forbearance stood at 890,000 nationwide. Those who remain in forbearance still have the chance to work out a suitable plan with their servicing company that represents the lender. And the servicing companies are under pressure to do just that by both federal and state agencies. Rick Sharga, Executive Vice President at Realty Track, said in a recent tweet, "The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and state attorneys general look like they're adopting a zero-tolerance approach to mortgage servicing enforcement. Likely that this will limit foreclosure activity for a good part of 2022, while servicers explore all possible loss mitigation options." Number three, most homeowners, and this is an important part, have more than enough equity to sell their homes. For those who can't negotiate a solution and the 16.8% who are left in the forbearance program without a workout, many will have enough equity to sell their homes and leave the closing with cash instead of facing foreclosures. This is especially true in Phoenix. I just recently sold a home for somebody who bought the home a little over a year ago. They're walking away with over $130,000 in equity after just 1 year. So people have equity even if they've recently purchased. So due to the rapid rise of home prices over the last 2 years, you have situations like this where the average homeowner has gained record amounts of equity. Frank Martell, President and CEO of CoreLogic, explains, "Not only have equity gains helped homeowners more seamlessly transition out of forbearance and avoid a distress sale, but they've also enabled many to continue building their wealth." And number four, there have been far fewer foreclosures over the last 2 years. One of the seldom reported benefits of the forbearance program was that it allowed households experiencing financial difficulties prior to the pandemic to enter into the program. It gave homeowners an extra 2 years to get their finances in order and work out a plan with their lender. That prevented over 400,000 foreclosures that normally would have come to the market had the new forbearance program not been available. Otherwise, the real estate market would have had to absorb these foreclosures. Here's a graph depicting the data. The current market can easily absorb over 1 million new listings. When foreclosures hit the market in 2008, they added to the oversupply of houses that were already for sale. That resulted in over a 9-month supply of listings, and anything over a 6-month supply can cause prices to depreciate. It's exactly the opposite today. The latest existing home sales report from the National Association of Realtors reveals total housing inventory at the end of November amounted to 1.11 million units, down almost 10% from October and over 13% from 1 year ago. Unsold inventory sits at a 2.1 month supply at current sales, and in Phoenix, that number is even less. It's a decline from both the prior month and from 1 year ago. A balanced market would have approximately a 6-month supply of inventory. At 2.1 months or less, the market is severely understocked. Even if 1 million homes enter the market, it won't be enough inventory to meet the current demand nationwide. Bottom line, the end of the forbearance program won't cause the kind of upheaval in the housing market we saw before, and won't cause a housing crash like 2008. As always, feel free to reach out to us here at the Right Move team with any questions, where we find people we like, the home they love.